As I was in the middle of editing a different video, James Gunn and the official DC Comics social media pages simultaneously released the very first official look at the Superman suit worn by David Corenswet in the upcoming James Gunn 2025 movie, Superman. Technically, this is actually the second look at the suit, as a while back an image of the logo was released. This is, however, the first full look we've gotten of this suit, even if it is still not a completely full look, seeing as some of the suit is obscured by the sitting position and the angle, the lighting of this area is a bit unique, and the fact that the suit is clearly battle damaged. So we still don't 100% know what the suit will always look like, but based off of this image, it looks pretty great. But also, I really like how they revealed it. Not just like a set photo or just like an image of the suit, but a more stylized image that looks like it could potentially take place during the movie. Although it more so looks like a comic cover where it's like an exaggeration of the events of the comic we're going to see, or something that kind of exemplifies some of the comic, and it is stylistic and looks good. I think that that is a really good way to reveal the suit. The very first thing to notice, or the very first thing to talk about here, is the small bit of red under the belt. It's mostly obscured, but it's clear that yes, ladies and gentlemen, the red trunks are back, and I could not be happier about it. I'll be honest, I used to be strictly anti-red trunks for Superman, especially in live action. I just didn't think they added too much to the design and looked honestly a bit silly. They still look silly. However, I also kind of always felt like the DCU and even the Arrowverse Superman suits were missing a bit of color in the belt area. Sure, a red belt can help with that, but it was actually the live action Kingdom Come and Fleischer suits, both made by the CW, that quickly became my favorite live action Superman suits, not in spite of the red trunks, but rather because of them, because of the color scheme of the suit and also how much the red trunks added to that. The red trunks are a relatively integral part of the design that fits perfectly with a more lighthearted and hopeful Superman. You can do a Superman without the red trunks, but the best Superman suits are the ones with trunks. They're the ones that look the most like Superman. At first glance, the added lines and edges feel unnecessary, but the ones on the shoulders do make this suit look very unique, and they do actually seem to have a bit of a function as they form a pouch for the cape to be put into, similar to the gold pieces of the Arrowverse Superman or Supergirl suits, but far more subtle and pulled off way better. The slightly more tucked into the suit cape look might have originated from the New 52 suit, but actually the raised neck area which this suit has certainly was, which brings up how the suit clearly takes inspiration from a multitude of different comic book Superman suits, but also not just comic book Superman suits, other live action Superman suits as well. When the logo was first revealed, I made a short about how the logo uses the shape of the Kingdom Come suit, the colors of the classic suit, and the gold border of the Fleischer suit, so that's already 4 with the elements of the New 52 suit. Beyond that, the suit looks like it takes inspiration from the other live action Supermen that came before. The materials of both the suit itself and the boots do look relatively close to Superman and Lois's suits, which is a material that, for the suit itself and the boots, I always thought worked really well for Superman. Then, if you look closely, it seems like the trunks look like they will be very high up, making for a smaller torso compared to the typical Superman costume, which reminded me of the 1950s George Reeves Superman suit, while also kind of looking a bit like the All-Star Superman look, which is the comic that this movie is taking primary inspiration from. Then there's the color scheme, which we can't fully tell based off this image because, like I said, the lighting, the angle, and also particularly the battle damage makes the torso look a lot darker than it probably should be. However, the giveaway here are in the pants/legs, which are this really nice light blue, which is the light blue that I would have expected the entire suit to be, meaning unless the torso for some odd reason, even when it's not battle damaged, has a different shade of blue to the pants, then I think this suit will end up having the perfect shade of blue all around. Then beyond that, the red pops very much, the yellow pops more so than maybe any other Superman suit ever made, and then alongside the red trunks, the gold belt also looks to break up the blue of the suit in a really nice way. If there's absolutely anything about the suit I can pretty confidently say is amazing, it's the color scheme. The light blue is perfect, the yellow is very noticeable, the red pops so well, and it's all tied together by the red trunks and the gold belt. All that being said, I'll be honest, looking at this image in particular, and again, the angle and the position and the lighting could all be factors. While I do really like what I'm looking at here, and there are elements of it that I already love, I am hoping the suit won't be what he'll be wearing in the DCU for the foreseeable future, although I'm pretty certain that it won't be. To me, this suit evokes a bit of a rookie vibe to Superman. It looks like the very first suit he or his mom put together, and one that acts as the transitional suit before finally arriving at the quintessential Superman look. This is true for the design concept as well. For later suits, I'd make them a bit tighter, have the trunks be a bit lower, the cape pulled back a bit, and maybe even transition over to a more classic logo. I don't know, maybe this version of Superman thought this Kingdom Come inspired logo was a bit cooler than just a regular S. But by the end of the movie, he embraces the fact that while the S isn't cool, it's far easier to understand and makes him feel less like an outsider and more maybe fitting in with any other person. I don't know, I think that the classic S is something that they should build up to, and I have a sneaking suspicion that that is what they're doing. All that would make the suit less unique, but I don't think there's ever been an absolutely perfect adaptation of the classic Superman suits, and I'd like for the DCU Superman to end up looking and feeling as much like Superman as possible. Thankfully, this is also technically our first look at David Corenswet as Superman, which is important in particular because of the hair, which looks fittingly messy and has the Superman curl, which definitely makes him look a lot more like Superman. In my opinion, the Superman curl in the hair is more important even than the red trunks to the design. I always hated the wet, slicked back hair of the DCU, and the fact that there's no curl on Tyler Hoechlin's Superman is easily my biggest issue with the design, way more so than the fact that there's no red trunks. The curl is quintessentially Superman. It's something that's very unique to Superman. The fact that he has an iconic hair curl, it's something that I really like about the design, and I'm glad that they are, it seems, incorporating it here. Getting past Superman, what is less expectedly revealed is, well, this photo also technically shows us the first look at what seems to be Metropolis, although it is at night and blurred, so it's not really a good look. I think the actual Metropolis in the movie will look far less like a common big city and have more of a visual identity, as that's something that James Gunn has stressed a few times, how he likes how the cities of the DC universe feel like fictional places and not just like a regular city in the real world. More importantly, this image may reveal one of the main villains of the movie. Now, James Gunn did say that Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor will be the main villain, but in this image we see a big pink and green ball in the sky that shoots a big pink laser. Now, the color scheme doesn't really fit, and this thing doesn't have spikes, but given how this movie takes inspiration from All-Star Superman, as well as the sheer size of the thing, this is most likely Solaris. Honestly, when seeing this image for the first time, the first character that I thought of, even without considering All-Star Superman, was Solaris, a sentient artificial sun that Lex teams up with in All-Star Superman, and otherwise, in the main DC continuity, is a Superman villain. The pink and green colors are close to the purple and green of Lex Luthor, so maybe in the actual movie, the pink we see here will actually be purple, and maybe this will be a different take on Solaris, and he will actually be created by Lex Luthor. And so that'll be it for this video, a bit of a shorter one, but there's only so much to say about one image. Let me know your thoughts about the suit in the comments down below, subscribe for more DCU content, and thanks for watching.